我这一次参展的作品名称是凝聚的呼吸。因为我阿嬷她是卑南族的巫师啊，她每次呢就是在我要远行的时候都会进行一个祝祷的一个仪式啦。即便就是说离开部落啊，它都可以让我感受到我跟族群之间的一个很紧密的一个连接。然后我想打造一个空间，透过钩织的方式啊，可以让观众感受到那一股有却看不到的力量，感受到那种团结跟情感之间的一种凝聚。
My theme is about thinking about how capitalism is work in our time. For example, I'm showing that purchasing the rice bowl at the convenience store for 24/7. This is a commission work for the Biennial for this time. I visited so many family mart in Taichung, just buying one single rice cake for almost 24/7. So visiting really a lot of the different branch of the family mart, buying one single rice cake. So it's like kind of, I try to destroy the system of the kind of making a small crack in our daily life to think about why we have this kind of system. So how does it work for us? Or how is it possible to change our society? Really possible to think of as a possible economical system in the future.
The installation, which is a mixed media with a textile and drawing, tells the story of the breadfruit. It has been brewing from Polynesian island, but it became in the Indian Ocean and in the Caribbean island, it became the everyday food for the slave. But today, people don't eat much breadfruit because it reminds them the time of slavery. In fact, this installation proposed to see breadfruit as a history of pride, recognition, or the symbol of a kind of mutiny. A mutiny against the importation system. So my installation proposed to know better the history of this breadfruit, to make people see this fruit in a beautiful way.
This artwork is called Portal, and it's about two trees, two mangrove trees on my favorite beach in Port Dickson. That's where I live. It's a small town on the west coast of Peninsula Malaysia. It's not a very beautiful beach. There's an oil platform in the distance. There's a lot of trash everywhere, but it's a very special place to me. A couple of months ago, in June, I think, the trees blew down in a big storm. That was completely unexpected. So this artwork became kind of like a memorial. Yeah, these two trees are like a portal, a gateway to this special place for me. But now the gate is gone, I guess. This artwork is about remembering them, and there'll be a performance as well. I invite the audience to light some fire outside the museum at the entrance, and to think about what they would like to transform. So this work is about change and transformation in ourselves, and also the change that we need to see actually in the world.
am exhibiting 2 video works, Brain Symphony in the first floor gallery, Photon in the second floor hallway. Brain Symphony is a video poem themed on inaccessible memories and recalls. The inspiration came from my personal experiences with my grandmother's dementia, also my personal encounter with my hard drive failure that I lost access to my stored data. Photon is a work I made with my friend Yukie Yoshizaki. She was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer. I wanted to make a kind of portrait of her, but not a conventional portrait. Rather, I wanted to make something that would allow me to see the world through her eyes. Please take your time and be relaxed. And please open your mind and get on the flow of the rhythm in the works.
Go. You're the apple of your mother's eye. And as the wrinkles flower.
我这次参展作品总共有5件，3件是平面的绘画，然后另外2件就是我所谓的绘画的装置。如果你去看我的作品，常常会发现，比较没有一个中心点。我的东西是比较像日记式，就是我这边好像也抓一点，那边也抓一点。有时候我希望从混乱里头去让观众有一个可以介入的方式，就是说他可以不知道看什么，然后他可以随他看，随他开始，随他结束这样子。所以我都希望堆叠出某种丰盛然后细碎的东西，再让观众自行进去作品里头，回头再来看到自己的那个部分。
In my work, I tried to figure out and work with the concept of the future in which authoritarian regimes use this technology to control society. In this sound installation, you also hear 3 voices, and all of these like a protagonist of the story about some catastrophic event behind this politics, behind something happened in the future. In my work, I use a specific sound speakers. It means when you're walking around my installation and sculptures, you try to find this rays of the sound. And this experience is more about loses and found the speakers, voices, barely audible voices. And it's like walking around landscape and looking around, discover elements and try to figure out how they interact between each other, how they're related between each other, like a small investigation of the visitor.
The presentation that I'm doing here has 3 parts. The first is a film. It's like a 1.5 hour film, and there's a sculptural installation and a series of drawings. These 3 works create this kind of parallel industrial timeless universe in a sort of a dystopian landscape of the present, and also it's some kind of like some science fictional estrangement of the real. It's like a strange reality, for like a strange sort of world that is actually what is in the present. So it's just projects like a layer on top of that. I would like the audience to notice the elements that they repeat and continue in various materials, that they connect these subjects. And I think this will be like a nice way to follow the works for the audience.
This work was done right after COVID time.
So at that time, I had a lot of time, like other people, to oneself. I was contemplating a lot about aging, about memory, about nature, about art, and how small I am or we are. And then I realized, okay, memory is also limited and cinema is limited. So I just want to make the work that kind of reflected this limitless that we capable of, but the medium is constraining us. So I gather all these video diaries that I've been shooting over the years and project them, from 2 projectors and let them communicate, because they're random order, so they're never in the same order or same conversation pieces, trying to achieve this clarity, let's say, of living.
The piece we are showcasing in this exhibition is called Pulang Pergi. It's a platform we create to foster ongoing conversation with the Indonesia migrant worker community. Since the beginning, Pulang Pergi has been designed as a space to share experience and knowledge among aspiring migrant workers. Those currently working returns, their families, and their social circle. Through storytelling, practical resources, and knowledge exchange across all stages of migration, we aim to connect this community. Through this video piece called Kosakata, we hope the audience will understand the complexity and the deep value of Indonesia migrant workers. And through the video documentation of the Pulang Pergi Symposium, we want to highlight how important this space is for migrant workers to learn from one another, offer support, and empower each other. Most importantly, we hope the audience can see, appreciate, and understand migrant worker lives on a deeper level. We envision Pulang Pergi growing into space truly owned by the migrant worker community.
For this exhibition, I am presenting my work from 2018. It's called Yohor. It's a video performance, and this video is about endangered languages. I was asked to sing a song in my mother tongue, and I realized that I forgot the lyrics, and it made me think about my mother tongue, which is Buryat language, and my language is endangered language. And it made me think why my language is endangered and what can I do and what other people can do to keep it alive. And this work is emotional because it is very painful to lose your language. I think the trauma of forgetting your language and the cause of it remains in yourself so deeply. I always felt very guilty about it, but now, 6 years after, I understand that if people lose their language, it's not their fault.
Dreamcoat is a multidisciplinary work or an art project composed by 10 interdependent textile sculptures, a video work, and a scripted collaborative participatory performance. I think the work intends to reveal the interdependence between human and natural elements. It's a work that focuses on relations. Even formally, we can see that landscapes are getting revealed through the contact between the different performers or the different costumes, textile works. In the performance, we can see how body, through perpetuous and specific movements, like a movement of the whirling turner that comes from the Turkish traditions. Through this repetitive movement, the mind can achieve an ecstasy, so a new kind of communication with the universe.
我对于那种看不见的，可是又存在的东西感到非常的好奇，然后那时候就知道说，哦，原来有一些生长很好的植物，是因为也许那个土壤里面有一些微生物，可是因为我看不到它，所以我必须要透过显微镜的方式去看它，然后用这个显微镜去画。对我来说，它算是一种写生，但我觉得我这个写生有种透过一个屏幕去认识到这个东西，然后在画的过程当中理解到，其实我们在看待这个世界也是透过一层镜面，那个镜面就是我们的眼球。至于这个装置，是因为我想要把这个看不到的东西被观众认知到，说它存在在这里，去观察它们这个菌种在这个土壤里面的生长状态。
In my space, it's the film, which is a single channel film, about half an hour, which is being presented, and also a newly commissioned series of prints. These are some fairly large scale prints on aluminium, mostly diagrams. They're kind of diagrams of these kind of intricacies of history. I'm really interested in thinking about how geopolitical world making has happened and has been imagined. And the diagrams are sort of tracing different concepts and histories in relation to each other, especially the lives, in particular one referencing the film directly, which is the lives of this Zanzibari revolutionary and an Italian-American CIA agent who was also intimately involved in various counter-revolutionary activities throughout the period. And then these three prints, which are printed on metal and have a lot of detail in them, which are kind of somewhat activated by the reflections also of the kind of movements of the film in the space.
我因为之前的一件作品叫做《制图者》的填调的关系，就是拜访了一群住在台湾中部山区的一群妈妈们。那这群妈妈，她们比较为人所知的身份是异域孤军的太太。透过这群妈妈的口述，我开始拍摄这个他们口中的无国家、无国籍的区域，以及他们传统以来透过游耕以及马帮经商的常常在迁徙的一种生活方式，以及他们在面临国界强制划分的时候所面临的一种生活处境。这次的作品除了环绕声响之外，还有包含一个雷射的反光镜装置，它会把雷射的光打在一块小小的国土上面，那它本身非常像是在测量，或者是说在定义一个区域上可以怎么被量化的一个象征。
The work that is commissioned by the Asian Art Biennial here in Taiwan is called Under the Cold Sun. And it is an installation connected to ancient Zoroastrian mythologies, specifically these two Armenian demons by the name of Harut and Marut. These are both demons and deities that are connected to infinity and renewal. Within the installation, I'm reimagining these demons as if awakening in contemporary times. And it basically reimagines the demons almost hacking or invading or subduing this Western well-known instrument, the church organ. And in the installation, you see a mirror and a spotlight. Basically, this light, it changes and increases. As it increases, also the sound is starting to create these psychoacoustic effects, which basically are almost like a ghost sound or a shadow sound. So it kind of creates this very hypnotic and trance-inducing environment for the visitors.
For the Asian Art Biennale this time, we realized a work which is titled Sourceless Waters, White Shadow, which is a collaboration with two distinct works.
For my work, Shadow, I use more than 70 black rubber balls. The balls are like particles, always moving and shaking.
And sharing the same space with the work Shadow of Fang. It's my work White, that it's hang up, it's like a curtain. This fabric will go up and down and will cover and uncover the work Shadow of Fang. Actually, this fabric it's popular for using for a tribal or even a funeral.
Our concept is about the body and space and mental landscape and memories. So in this work, we also try to put in together a kind of simple landscape in space.